Welcome back to our study on two camps. We're looking at Genesis chapter 32, 1 through 23. Today we're in verses 3 through 8. And we're talking about the sending of messengers. Let's look at the message first. Got messengers? What's the message? Well, after the angel visit, Jacob decides to send a message to his brother Esau, who has moved from Canaan. He's not in Canaan anymore. And now he lives in Seir, the country of Edom, which means Esau. Remember, Edom, Esau, same person. And it's the country of Seir, which is to the south of the land of Canaan. And it's north of the Sinai wilderness. So there's that swath of land south of Israel there before you get to the wilderness of the Sinai. That's where they go. There's other stuff that happened there, but that's where Esau decides to live. That becomes Edom. That becomes his country. And let's look at the message specifically now. And the first thing Jacob says he wants to send to Esau, "Thus says your servant Jacob." Remember that Jacob has the birthright and the blessing and the promise of God that the older Esau would serve the younger, Jacob. And yet his message begins with the idea of servanthood. This is really a statement of humility coming from the one who previously had been always self-seeking, right? He says, "I am your servant." He's putting himself under Esau, even though the blessing of God, the birthright, all those things are his. He is humbling himself before Esau as he comes back towards the land there. Second thing he says, "I have sojourned with Laban and stayed until now." So he's not a prodigal son, right? Of course, Jacob left. He had nothing. He didn't have anything to squander. He had anything to be a prodigal with because he left with just his staff, is what he says. But now he spent the last 20 years in futility. He hasn't spent the last 20 years just hanging out, mooching off of people. No, he's been working hard. He's been working for his uncle Laban. He's been staying with family. He didn't reject family altogether. He hasn't, been a horrible person while he's gone these 20 years. He's lived with the family. He's lived with his extended family. He's worked there. He's done things. And that's what his next part is. I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, male servants and female servants, he says. So Jacob's not coming back to Canaan as a beggar, like the prodigal son. He's not like that. He's coming back. It's actually the flip of the prodigal. He left with nothing, and he's coming back with all kinds of stuff. He's prospered, and now he's looking for to talk to Esau. He's not looking to get something from Esau, right? He doesn't need stuff. He's not looking for a handout. He's not looking for money. So his message and return are not a seeking of wealth for himself. He's saying, I already got all this stuff. I got camels, donkeys, servants. I got everything. So I'm not saying these messengers to get something from you. And then it says, I have sent to tell my Lord in order that I may find favor in your sight. So here's the real reason why he's sending the messengers. He's seeking favor. Jacob uses another term of humility here as he calls Jacob, or Esau, my Lord. The messengers have been sent because Jacob is seeking reconciliation with his brother. Now, 20 years prior, Jacob left because Esau wanted to kill him. And now he wants to see if his rage has gone and to restore the relationship. Jacob is seeking grace from Esau. He's seeking favor. He doesn't deserve it, but that's what he's seeking. He's seeking the grace of Esau. And, and I'm sure he's testing the waters too, because 20 years ago, this guy was consoling himself by the fact that he'd be able to kill him. It's probably a wise idea. Jacob's not a fool. He's a wise man. So he's testing the waters, but he wants the grace of Esau. He wants the favor of Esau. And now we see the reply here. And Esau replies to Jacob's message by how? By coming to meet him. By himself? Nope, with 400 men. Upon hearing this, Jacob knows what that means. Jacob becomes greatly afraid and distressed. He believes that Esau and these 400 men are coming to attack his camp, right? That's what he assumes. That's why he's so afraid. So Jacob makes a plan to divide all of the servants and animals into 2 camps. That way, if Esau attacks one of those camps, then the other can run away, the other can escape, and not all will be lost. And so he devises this plan. It's like, well, if Esau's going to come with 400 men, I think I can divide my resources here. I can divide my family, I can divide my servants and everybody else, and at least half will get away, hopefully, while he's busy killing half of all I have. The other half can escape. And so he assumes he's going to get attacked. He assumes that they're going to have to fight. And so he divides his forces, divides his people, divides his animals, to make 2 different camps so that the one would become a diversion for the other one. It's not a bad idea, actually, strategically. Kind of makes sense. That way you're assuring that not everything is gone, not everything is destroyed. You give a chance for at least half to get away. Because if you don't think your family alone, your forces alone, your fighting men, you're fighting your servants that are able to fight, if they're not able to, you don't think they can destroy these 400 men, then that's a good plan. So Esau's not a fool. He knows what he's doing, but he's, at the same time, he's sending this message because he wants the favor of Esau. He's seeking Esau out. He wants that relationship with him. He doesn't want his brother to be angry with him. He wants to repair that. And that's what he's done, but Esau instead comes with a company of 400 men, and not just by himself to meet Jacob. That's a very telling thing. So next time we'll see, what does Jacob do with his fear and distress that he's in, and his plan too. What does he do with all of that? So come back next time and we'll take a look at that.